Did AJ Styles go off on Triple H? AJ Lee reminded us why we all love her so much. The Vision are still opening and closing Raw every single week. What is up, wrestling fans? I'm Allison here at Wrestling Republic, and I have analysed last night's episode of Monday Night Raw, and here are my 5 key findings. In at number 5, the Vision are still opening and closing Raw every single week. It's like rain in the UK, a red light when you're already running late, an ad break when a wrestler gets chucked into the barricade, or a 5-star match in the Tokyo Dome. It's a guarantee. And when I first mentioned this a few weeks ago, I'm going to be honest, I was half joking about the Vision opening and closing the show every week. At that point, it didn't bother me too much. But at this point, I've now mentioned it like 4 times on this show, and it really does annoy me, because it's the same thing every single week. An opening segment in some way involving the Vision setting up an impromptu main event match, with that main event match then either ending in DQ or some screwy finish before multiple run-ins to end the show. It's copy-paste, copy-paste. That AJ Lee segment should have main evented the show, and that was a no-brainer. And yes, obviously that included Seth Rollins from the Vision, but I don't think that's anywhere near as bad as it being another impromptu match ending the same way with run-ins at the end. Like, what they're actually doing isn't even that bad, it's just the repetitiveness of it. And talking of Seth, why hasn't he really been with the Vision lately? Like last night on Raw and the week before as well, we've only seen Braun and Bronson on their own. In at number 4, Bayley is going to absolutely murder Lyra Valkyria on next week's Raw. Lyra is confirmed to be taking on Roxanne Perez on that show, and I am near certain that after it, Bayley is going to run out and attack Lyra Valkyria brutally. She said last night during her promo that she was going to make things right, but this clearly isn't going to be a return of a babyface Bayley. This clearly isn't going to be the return of her Karen gimmick. I think this is going to be, like I said a few weeks ago, a new crazy side to Bayley, and I think it is going to be ruthless, and I think it is absolutely needed. It is something fresh, it will freshen up her character, and worst case, if this fails, guess what? In a year, her WWE contract is up, and if this doesn't work out for her, honestly, at least from my perspective, I would love to see her in All Elite Wrestling. In at number 3, AJ Lee reminded us all why we love her so much. Now, I'm not going to be over-dramatic. I'm going to be fully honest for a second, right? Because in, I believe, 2017, when her book came out, I read it, right? And during that time, I was going through a lot of mental health struggles when I was in school. And honestly, it really helped me. And the reason why it helped me was just to see somebody so famous and so important, and somebody who I'd watched on my TV for years be so open about mental health. I mean, that meant a lot. And now for AJ Lee to return to WWE and in her first promo back, spend it talking about mental health and about how therapy helped her. I mean, that is something which is going to undeniably help a lot of people. If you are seeing wrestlers like AJ Lee on TV, on Netflix, discussing therapy and how they've been to therapy and how it's helped them, that will have a positive effect on so many people. And I'm so glad WWE let her do this yesterday, but I am also really glad that AJ Lee pushed for this, because she would have had to, and it is just incredible to see, and it will be helpful to so many more people, and it's even more important than this storyline itself. But before we get into the top 2 key findings, if you guys could do me a huge favor and leave a like, subscribe, and a comment on this YouTube video, that would be massively appreciated. It really does help move it up the algorithm. That like button really is the most important thing, but the comments help a lot too. Thank you guys so much. In at number 2, for the sake of the storyline, I'm glad Brock Lesnar is going to be on SmackDown this week. Previously, he wasn't advertised to be on SmackDown, and I'm going to be honest, I thought the Cena and Lesnar stuff was done. We were going to wait until WrestlePalooza, and that would be the match. And until then, they just show promo packages or whatever. And I thought that, yes, that match doesn't need building. Cena, Lesnar, it's a blockbuster match, no denying it. But at the same time, That just isn't really good enough from a storyline perspective. Because yes, it sells itself, so at the bare minimum, it's done its job. But even still, I like to have more than that. I always say it, story is king. And right now, there's no real story. Lesnar's taken out Cena twice, no explanation at all. So hopefully now, this week on SmackDown, Lesnar does explain his actions. And if he does, well, suddenly I might be all back on board with this storyline. But the one point I will make, and I don't want us to forget about, is Brock Lesnar's involvement here. Now, WWE still haven't cleared up any of the claims against him. I mean, of course, like I've said in the past, innocent until proven guilty matters a lot. But it's just the fact that they've not been transparent about this in the slightest. That's just a little bit confusing to me. And in at number 1, did AJ Styles break kayfabe to go off on Triple H? Or are we all being worked? In case you missed it, during a commercial break last night, AJ Styles did a promo, and in it, he basically said that somebody was trying to hold him back in WWE, and they were making sure he wouldn't get wins, and that's why Anderson and Gallows are no longer there, and that they want him gone. And this came right after AJ Styles' own son commented on his Instagram post, saying that he was basically frustrated with Triple H's booking of his father. So is this real, or is it one big giant work? In my opinion, it's actually a mix of both. I reckon his son's comment was real, but then AJ Styles went into work, he explained that he doesn't feel that way, but he would love to be able to involve that to get people talking about Monday Night Raw. But at this point, I think the show was already basically written. So they had him do this during the commercial break, and that's why the promo later in the show, he seemed completely normal again, and they didn't really touch upon it at all. So I reckon this was something which was just thrown together last second to try and turn it into a work, but isn't necessarily a big angle that's planned out. I don't think they know about what their end game is going to be here, and I don't even know if they know if they're going to continue it next week or not. I reckon it was a last minute thing, and that would explain why it felt so random, and why the end goal, well, it's kind of just hard to work out. But what do you guys think? I'd love to hear from you in the comments. There's no fans' thoughts today, but those will be back in the very near future. But thank you guys so much. Have a fantastic week. Peace.